Anchorage, Alaska, a city known for its stillness, its snow, its silence. But as the midnight hours stretch towards dawn, a different kind of chill settles over downtown. At 2:50 a.m. on a quiet Sunday morning, that chill turned violent. A well-known bar, the Gaslight Lounge, erupted in gunfire, leaving one man dead and 3 others wounded. What unfolded outside those doors wasn't random. It was a convergence, a slow burning fuse lit long before that night. What really happened in those final moments before bullets tore through the peace? And who, if anyone, saw it coming?
Shooting in downtown Anchorage this weekend left 1 man dead and 3 others injured. Business owners are reacting, saying it's not a good look for Anchorage. A warning that the footage you see may be disturbing. Quinn White has the story.
I'm standing on 4th Avenue outside of the Gaslight Lounge. It's quiet now, but this is exactly where shots rang out early Sunday morning. Now, I spoke to other people who work at bars up and down 4th Avenue, and they tell me when stuff like this happens, it's bad for everyone's business.
I've been here for 44 years, and knock, knock, we haven't had any shootings or anything like that. But there's been other places like the one around the corner here. And it's really bad for our business. It's bad for the look.
23-year-old Leroy Manogiamanu was found dead at the scene. 3 others were injured. The owner of the Gaslight tells us that 2 of his security staff were shot before a 3rd security officer shot the gunman.
In this particular instance, we all of us feel like we're as much of a victim as my 2 guys that got shot.
Well, people don't like coming downtown. It's especially late. These shootings are usually late at night, and that's when our business is good. So we just need that kind of thing to stop.
Other bar staff I talked to who work in the area told me they think it's time for the Gaslight to close for good, saying violence there is frequent. But the owner of the Gaslight says it's a few bad people ruining it for everybody else.
The Gaslight tries to do everything we can to keep our customers secure. There's a small group of criminals that are victimizing, my clientele and my staff and my business.
Now, APD has declined to release any further information, saying this is an open investigation. They say right now they're investigating this as a homicide.
Hours before the shooting, 2 men pulled up outside the Gaslight. According to the bar's longtime owner, they weren't strangers. They've been barred from the premises, 86th as the term goes, for fighting in the past. Denied entry once again, they didn't go far. Minutes later, a separate group of men walked past the bar, laughing, eating, carefree. But when 2 of them returned, something had changed. They wore sweatshirts, masks, and one had a backpack strapped across his chest. Inside the Gaslight, security radioed each other quietly. Something was about to happen. They could feel it. 2:50 a.m. It begins with an argument, the kind bar security sees all the time. The 2 women, back outside, now embroiled in a loud fight. But this wasn't just noise, it was a distraction. As security tried to defuse the altercation, the masked men lingered close. Calm words were exchanged, requests made. Leave the area, they were told. But then, a flash, a weapon raised, a scuffle, and in an instant, the sidewalk lit up with gunfire. One security guard, now on the ground, had been shot 7 times. Another, caught in the chaos, was struck in the hand. Inside, a young woman took cover. A bullet grazed her arm. Outside, the man with the gun kept backing down the sidewalk, still firing. But this wasn't over, not yet. Unseen in the fog of violence, another guard, an ex-military man, was already moving. He had gone to his car. When he returned, he wasn't empty-handed. He brought a rifle. And as the shooter turned to fire once more, a single shot dropped him where he stood. Police arrived almost immediately. The Gaslight sits across from Anchorage PD headquarters, but even with swift response, the damage had been done. One man, 23 years old, lay dead. Leroy Manamaganu, a former high school football star, once celebrated, now a headline. But questions remain. Did he fire first? Was it self-defense? Police won't say, not yet. What they will say is that the investigation is far from over. The Gaslight Lounge isn't new to violence. In fact, its walls have echoed with tragedy more than once. In just the past few years, a string of deaths, shootings, beatings, brawls turned deadly, victims found in parking lots.
In the investigation into a deadly shooting that happened outdoors on 4th Avenue around 2:45 in the morning this Sunday, charges are now being filed against one of the people involved in an altercation that preceded two men firing shots at each other outside a downtown bar. Anchorage police say two men, Tajay Baldwin and Joseph Hannafin, fired shots on 4th Avenue between G and H streets following that fight between two women. Baldwin and Hannafin were both taken to a local hospital where the 30-year-old Baldwin was pronounced dead. Hannafin survived and at this time is not facing charges. But tonight, police say that 30-year-old Patricia Avery assaulted another woman. And that fight, as mentioned, was a catalyst for the deadly shooting involving Baldwin and Hannafin. Avery faces assault and tampering with evidence charges, accused of also removing Baldwin's gun from the crime scene. She was remanded at Highland Correctional Center.
Fights spilling from sidewalks into headlines. Some call it coincidence. Others say it's the cost of nightlife. But in the shadows of 4th Avenue, it's becoming something else entirely. A pattern.
Home after an early morning shooting this weekend on 4th Avenue that left one man dead and another with life-threatening injuries. A downtown business owner is speaking out this evening. Lex Galverton is live outside of APD headquarters, which got hit with bullets during that shooting, and says the owner of the Gaslight Lounge across the street wants action, trying to make downtown Anchorage safer. Lex?
Mike, you can see the damages from that deadly shooting where bullets struck the Anchorage Police Department just right behind me. Now, John Patty, the owner of the Gaslight, is now calling on the city to address public safety issues. Now, officers say when police arrived at the scene early Sunday morning, they found two men with gunshot wounds, with both men taken to local hospitals with life-threatening injuries. One man was pronounced deceased at the hospital. Patty says they have a state-of-the-art security system with 25 cameras, facial recognition, and the use of metal detectors so no weapons can get into the bar. He says after reviewing security camera footage, it was a woman assaulting another woman outside of the bar that led to a fight between two men and eventually the shooting. Pate wants to talk with the new mayor and police chief to discuss what downtown can do to make the city safer.
I'm going on my 41st year as an owner, and so I've seen a lot. And there's things that I think we can do, but you know, one individual bar or two bars in close proximity can't solve the city's, you know, crime issues. We need help.
Patty tells us that all of his security footage from the weekend is with APD, and APD says that there have been no charges filed regarding the homicide. They do ask if there was any witnesses to the shooting to reach out to dispatch at 311, or you can call the number 907-786-8900. Lex Yelverton, Alaska's news source.
The Gaslight owner calls his staff heroes. He says they did what they had to do. Some call for the bar to close. Others say it's the city that's failed to protect the night. The police, silent. The footage, disturbing. And the questions, they're only just beginning. What drew the women, and later the masked men, back to that bar? Was this random, or was it personal? And above all, what happens next when the bars close and the guns come out again? Anchorage doesn't sleep, it waits. And in the dark, someone always watches. Alright, y'all, there y'all have it, man. A crazy story of a high school star football athlete going out in the blaze of glory outside the Gaslight bar in Alaska. Hey man, get in the comment section, let me know what y'all think, man. Drillers and trappers, we outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!